I think resting in the I am sense or the sense of pure being is never wrong. It's never the wrong answer. Now, we may learn doctrine of no self, and in deep stage realization, one can realize no self. And yet, if the most primary experience of reality you have, or that feels undeniably obvious, is the experience of being, then don't deny that for a doctrine. Don't deny that for a belief that it should be other than that, or you should transcend that, or deconstruct or deny that, because that will be a mistake. That will be a thought or a belief, which is just another binding into dualistic consciousness. Rather, reside in, relax into, let overtake you the most fundamental, simple, obvious, self-validating knowing of being, of presence, of I or I am. That's good practice. And in fact, that can dissolve, although passively, a lot of the polarities that create a sense of actual separation in the physical world. It can also dissolve the polarities that cause reactivity, that cause the afflictive emotions or our resistance to emotion. Things like frustration, impatience, greed, and the experiences of struggle, contraction, etc. So while I do recommend further investigations in deeper stage realization, specifically investigations into the nature of reactivity and equanimity, into the nature of subject-object, into the nature of form, perception, and awareness, that doesn't exclude spending time resting in pure being, attuning to that which is most obvious to you, most simple, most primary, which includes everything. It's just that it's possible to add adjunctive inquiries to that. Become curious about the nature of presence itself, sounds, sensations, and be willing to investigate in a more direct way the nature of belief, the nature of resistance and emotion, the nature of reactivity. So just to be clear, it's possible to proceed on in and as the experience of pure being. Things tend to clarify naturally. However, sometimes you'll notice some sticky areas, especially when you're not meditating. During active times of the day, when the mind is active, when you're engaging with others, you notice continuing contraction, or you notice certain situations are sticky, and in the moment, the mind is just making too much noise, or you are able to rest in being, in unbound consciousness most of the time, and yet you start to naturally become curious about the dualistic experience you're having with seemingly external objects, seemingly external people. So trust your instinct and know that there will come a time when a natural curiosity will come forth to guide you when to start to examine deeper perceptual filters. And yet you can always do this through the lens of being, resting in presence, because presence is where everything happens. So they're not mutually exclusive as practices.